इस वीडियो को आप हिंदी में भी देख सकते हैं। करना आपको सिर्फ इतना है, सेटिंग्स में जाकर के ऑडियो ट्रैक में से आप हिंदी या फिर किसी और भाषा को चूज कर सकते हैं। हैप्पी व्यूइंग।
Welcome to Motoroids, guys. My name is Amit, and this, of course, is the Kia Carens Clavis EV. According to me, this has to be one of the most important launches of this year in the electric segment, and it's because this is the most reasonably priced people mover which can carry 7 people. Also because of the fact that this is launched by Kia, a car maker which knows how to sell cars, one of the most successful new entrants in the Indian car industry. And this car has anyway been a no-nonsense people mover, and in the electric avatar it comes across as all the more appealing to me. So in this video I'm going to let you know everything that is to be known about this fantastic EV people mover. So without much ado, let's get going with it. Now this car bears a lot of resemblance with its ICE counterpart, and there are a few changes which a trained eye would be able to figure very quickly. Now the first change is this connected DRL. You also get this charging socket with this battery indicator. You also get these active flaps here. The fog lamps are exclusive to the EV variant, and the color of this scuff plate is also of a lighter shade as compared to the ICE variant. Apart from that, the face is quite similar to the ICE variant. It gets the star map LED DRLs. It also gets these ice cube headlamps. These are the low beam, this is the high beam. And generally speaking, it does come across as a sophisticated face, a little bit different from your usual face of a car, but still quite unique and well balanced. Now, on the side, you have a few more changes. These wheels are different. They are aero units, 17 inches. On the lower variants, you'll get 16-inch units. You'll get disc brakes both up front and at the rear, 215 section tires. Now a good thing is that these claddings that you see here, this satin silver treatment on the waistline as well as the roof rail, all of those things are standard across all variants. So apart from the wheels and the color of this cladding, everything on the side is similar to the ICE Carens Clavis. The shark fin antenna is also standard across all variants, and at the rear also not much has changed, apart from the fact that you get an EV badging here, and the scuff plates here are of a slightly lighter shade. Now open the boot and you'd see that there is so much space here, 216 liters of storage space with all 3 rows up. Of course, if you put the 3rd row down, you'd be able to increase that space. You'll just have to use these flaps to tumble the seats down, and it's really easy. Now apart from this, you also get additional 25 liters of space on this car, because this is an EV, and this is what the 25 liters of front space looks like on this car. Now of course this car comes with vehicle to load capabilities as well, and you can charge stuff from this port as well as on the inside. Also there's a 3-point socket inside. Now in terms of charging times, if you use the fast 100 kilowatt DC charger, 10 to 80% charge can be had in 39 minutes, and if you use the 11 kilowatt charger, the bigger battery pack, which is the 51.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, will be charged in 4 hours 45 minutes, while the smaller 42 kilowatt hour battery pack can be charged in 4 hours using the 11 kilowatt wall box charger. It comes with a 360-degree camera. The camera unit sits here with ADAS level 2 with 20 features, and all the modern features that you have come to expect from the Koreans are right here. Let's have a look inside and see what are the changes over the Kia Carens Clavis ICE variant. Now the key is the same as the ICE variant, and most of the interior is also thankfully the same, and the Carens Clavis has always been very thoughtfully designed. There are a ton of spaces. For example, this space here where you can just slot in your cell phone or wallet. The door panels are very generous. All the windows are one touch up and down. You get folding mirrors, you get electric connectivity, you get Bose audio system. So all of those things are the same. The colors have also been nicely appointed. So for the lower variants, you'll get a black interior in fabric, and for the higher variants, you'll get this beige and navy colored interior with leatherette. So that is one difference. The seats are 4-way powered, although the height has to be adjusted manually. But the big difference that you'll see here is there on the central panel, where the drive selector has now been moved here. So a lot of space has been released there, and now in its electric version, this car has even more space to offer on the inside, which is fantastic, because even the ICE variant is fantastic. So let's have a look at the changes more closely. So thanks to This panel now, you have these two nice cup holders and this tambour door, and these cup holders are also adjustable. So you can just slot these cup holders in and it will turn into a storage space. You can cover it up beautifully, and you also have this armrest underneath which you'll have a ton of space, so you can just drop in whatever you have, your wallet, your sunglasses, your cell phone, or whatever have you. You get ventilated seats which are controllable to 3 levels, 360-degree camera. You also get a hill descent control, auto hold function, and a ton of space underneath. So you can actually place a haversack here. You also get wireless charging, 12-volt power socket, 2 USB sockets, one A and one C. And apart from that, an additional feature that you'll get on this car is on this beautiful 12.25-inch screen, where now you'll see the EV related info as well. Now at this point in time, since the car has been idling for a very long time, we have not been driving it, we have just been shooting it. So it shows you the range right now. With 94% battery, it can go on to 390 kilometers. And if you turn the AC off, it will go to 459 kilometers. So all the information about your EV features is listed down here. Also on the instrument console, you will get information related to the range. So those are the additional features that you'll get on the twin 12.5-inch screens. Now Kia has always been ahead when it comes to connected car features, and this car also gets 90 connected car features. What's new here is that in the Kia Connect app, if you're driving one of the EVs, you'll get some additional features, and you can set charging limits. You'll get all the stats about your car's range. You can schedule the charging, you can start and stop the charging, and also you can plan your trip in a manner where it lets you know all the charging stations which are there along the way, and you can send the route directly to the car and plan your journey. So all of those new features in the Kia Connect app have been introduced, and now it's compliant with all the additional features that an EV has to offer. Now it would also make sense to quickly talk about the battery packs that we have here. So there are two battery packs. One is 42 kilowatt hour and the other one is 51.4 kilowatt hour. They are the same battery packs that we have earlier seen on the Hyundai Creta EV. These are two sister companies, so the battery pack is the same. Although the range on the Kia Carens EV is longer than the Creta electric, and it also gets 2 additional seats and a lot more features than the Hyundai Creta electric. So in that sense, this comes across as a car which is not just less expensive but also has more features and space, with a longer range of course. The power output on the two battery packs is also different. So the smaller battery pack gets 133 HP, the bigger battery pack gets 169 HP, and the torque output on both the cars is the same at 255 Newton meters. The range difference between the two battery packs is 404 and 490 kilometers, and in our estimation, the lower battery pack will give you about 300 kilometers, give or take 10 or 15 kilometers, and the bigger battery pack will give you about 400 kilometers of range. Now this car comes with 6 airbags as standard, and it gets 18 safety features as standard, so the safety pack is pretty good. The Kia Carens got a 3-star rating internationally on the NCAP, but this car is strengthened at certain points, so we don't know what the rating of this specific car is, and we'll have to really wait to get the BNCAP rating of this specific car. Let's also quickly have a look at the other features that we have out here. So the steering here is tilt and telescopically adjustable. You get 4 region modes, including an I-pedal mode. You get drive mode, so you have eco, normal and sport modes. So once you put it in eco, you'll get the maximum range. The steering is a familiar 2-spoke unit. You also get this beautiful panoramic sunroof, and it's a one-touch operation. And this is by how much the glass will go back. Pretty big, huh? Now on the driver side, you don't have a vanity mirror. On the passenger side, you do have, but you don't have illumination. You have auto dimming mirrors, you have this sunglasses holder, seat belt reminder, lights. The electrically adjustable seats by themselves are very comfortable. As you can see, they have this ribbed texture. They are ventilated, and the thigh support is also very good. I quite like the way these seats are built, and the foam quality is also of a very good order. The suspension on this car has also been tweaked, but we'll talk more about it once we take it out for a spin. Let's have a look at the glove box as well. Now as you can see, the interior is quite similar to the Kia Carens ICE variant, and these materials, just as on the ICE variant, are quite nice. They are very different, and the ambient lighting here is done in a very nice manner, in a very subtle manner. You get 64 colors ambient lighting, and the central panel here can be switched between audio and HVAC modes, and all the controls are very neatly laid out. The sound quality from the Bose system is fantastic, and the rest of the stuff at the rear is pretty similar to what we have seen on the Kia Carens ICE version, but let's anyway quickly take a look at what small changes have been made. Now to get inside is a breeze. As you can see, there's a lot of space in the door panel, and on the top shelf also you have some space for a wallet or a cell phone. There is a soft touch armrest. You also get these blinds, which is fantastic, an air purifier unit, and on the boss seat you also get this really nifty table which can be used for work as well as for your refreshments. Now you also get this slide function for the front passenger seat so that the boss seat can have the maximum amount of leg space. I would have liked this armrest to have cup holders as well. You don't also get a third headrest, but what you do get are these two quick chargers, a control for your AC flow, and you also get this dedicated 3-point socket for your high-powered electronic equipment. So you really can run your laptop or other electronic equipment using this car. You also have this little slot here. It's completely flat, so there is actually space for seating 3 without any problem. The AC vents sit here. You have a coat hook, a reading light, and a handle to grab onto. The seat belts for the front passengers are adjustable. You have these magazine holders, and generally speaking, this car has always been very comfortable. One of the most practical, no-nonsense, fuss-free 7-seat cars that you'll come across. On this specific variant, you'll not get the 6-seat variant that you will get on the ICE. So if you want captain's seat, that option is not available here. But what is really to be loved is this one-touch tumble-down function, which introduces you to the third row of seats. And while the space at the back seat is the same, let's quickly get there as well and show you how much space is there if you've not seen the space on the Kia Carens ICE variant. So the one thing to notice is that the front seat will slide back and forth, so the space in the third row can be adjusted. Now as you can see, this seat reclines, and with some adjustment at the middle row, the knee room is not bad at all. We have always maintained that the Kia Carens Clavis, for its size, is a fantastic 7-seater. So you actually can use these seats for seating 2 for short to medium journeys, even long ones if you're going to be taking breaks. The headroom is also commendable, so you can actually seat someone who is up to 5 feet 11. You get your dedicated AC vents, your light, a USB socket at either end, and you also get this cup holder and this additional space here. So all in all, if you want to be using this car practically for seating adults, that is possible, just like the Kia Carens ICE variant. Getting in and out of this car is also one of the easiest, so that again is something that the Kia Carens Clavis always has boasted about. And generally speaking, the Kia Carens Clavis in both its ICE and EV forms is a no-nonsense, spacious, comfortable, tech-laden car, and it comes at a very good price too. So like I mentioned, this is a no-fuss electric car, and with this, Kia does not want to set any 0 to 100 records or top speed records. This car is meant to accelerate at a brisk pace, but not at a crazy pace. So when we did the 0 to 100 test, we figured that it hits the turn in a little over 8 seconds, which is very brisk as compared to its ICE counterpart. It's faster. And for the bigger battery pack, where you have 169 HP of power, that's this car, and 255 Newton meters of torque for both the cars, the lower, smaller battery pack gets 133 PS, which is about 36 PS or bhp less than the bigger battery pack. But with the bigger battery pack, you'll be able to hit the turn in 8 seconds, which is very brisk. The acceleration as you put the pedal down is very brisk, especially if you are in the sport mode. The response is really good. There is a lot of overtaking acceleration available since there is no engine. This car runs quieter. There is a lot of torque, which obviously is very evident. So on the road, it feels like a swift car to drive. And the top speed that this car can touch is about 170 kilometers per hour, which is plenty fast, because on most of the highways you have, of course, a speed limit. Now, this is not a car which is meant for the enthusiast, and it's quite evident. Even in the sport mode, while the steering stiffens up, you do feel that there is a little bit of body roll, that the suspension has been set up on the softer side. And as compared to the ICE counterpart of this car, the suspension has been honed. The NVH levels on this car, of course, primarily because of the reason that it does not have an engine, are better. Also, the insulation is better. The suspension, as I mentioned, has been tuned. The steering has been tuned. And all of that makes sure that the ambient noise is cut to a better level. However, there is a bit of wind noise filtering in after 90, 100, and I think that could probably have been dealt with a little bit better. But overall, this is not a sporty car to drive. This is a very comfortable car, and the suspension is set slightly on the firmer side. And as you load more people in, once you have 4 or more people, it settles down quietly. Otherwise, what happens is if you're going over bad speed breakers or bumps, you do feel a bit of bounce at the rear. You have to load the car up to get the best of its ride quality. If you're just alone or just the two of you, you'll feel that the suspension has a tendency to feel a little bit firm. But even so, when you drive it around bends, it does not feel as taut as some of the other cars which are on the sportier side, but that's perfectly fine. The suspension generally feels very comfortable, and apart from the wind noise, I don't have a problem. There are cars which handle better, which feels a little bit more poised, and in that regard, while it has a very reassuring set of 4 wheels, it holds its line very well. It is not the sportiest of the cars to drive. The range, as I mentioned, with the bigger battery pack, you'll get about 400 kilometers, and with the smaller battery pack, you'll get about 300 kilometers. It's loaded with all the tech. The sound system is fantastic. And generally speaking, if you're going to be driving around in town or on the highway with family, there is not much that you can complain about except for the fact that this is not a very involving sporty suspension steering setup, but the acceleration at about 8 seconds to the ton is plenty quick. Finally, you also get regen modes, and you have these paddle shifters to engage the regen mode. You have 5 regen modes in all, and you can either turn it off completely like so, or you can put it on level 1, level 2, level 3, and finally you have the max level. And on the max level, as I'll demonstrate to you now, the car comes to a standstill very quickly. And if you are going downhill or if you are in stop-start traffic, it really can enhance your range significantly. The Kia Carens Clavis is available in 6 colors, and of these, the ivory silver matte is the flagship color. And you can see all the rest of the colors: the imperial blue, the gravity grey, the glacier white pearl, the pewter olive, and the aurora black pearl on the screen right now. Now, there is no direct competitor to this car because the only car that comes close to this one as a 7-seat electric MPV is the BYD E-Max 7, but the pricing is so different that you really cannot compare the two. This one starts at 18 lakh rupees and goes all the way up to 24.5 lakh rupees, pricing which is similar to the Hyundai Creta electric, but the BYD E-Max, which comes with 7 seats, retails from 27 to 30 lakh rupees, which is quite expensive as compared to this car. And this is no less in terms of the features and the space and comfort. Yes, the range is slightly less, but it's ever slightly so. And I really think that the range on this car is sufficient enough for you to skip the BYD E-Max. I really think that this car offers a lot more value than its Chinese counterpart. So if a 7-seat MPV is something that you're looking for, or even if you're not looking for a 7-seat MPV, it makes sense to buy a car that offers you more space. For people with families, it actually comes across as a fantastic option because the running costs will really go down if you have a wall box charger. And at 18 lakh rupees starting, I really think that it's a steal. And for those who want a car, mostly for the city and for some outings out of town with their family, it does come across as a fantastic choice. So if you're looking for an electric car, do go ahead and have a look at this car as well, unless you're looking at a proper SUV. In my books, this is a fantastic offering and you should go ahead and take a test drive of this one. This really is a no fuss, no nonsense, very practical, very reasonably priced, very spacious car for the entire family. I really hope I was able to sum this car up in detail for you. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Motoroids, and until next time, this is your friend Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.